Welcome to eZeLiving.com. I'm Dr. Niveen Saleh, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about bloating. We have with us Kay, who's a colon hydrotherapist and a nutritionist. Kay, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
So those days where you've just eaten too much, and the only thing you want to do is either grab your black dress, your black pants, and I'm sure the same with guys. You're just feeling heavy, tired, and just big. What causes that?
The question we all ask each other, and I know even sometimes I feel I need that black dress. I need to hide the bloating that I'm experiencing. Bloating is just really a distended abdominal area. It's full. It's and most of the time it's trapped gas. You get that really heavy feeling.
And do you usually start burping and passing gas when you're bloated? Is that how we would get relief?
Well, your question is to me. As a female, no, we're a little bit more elegant about it. But guys, they just pass wind, and it's very, very common. In the intestinal tract, on a daily basis, we pass wind 15 to 20 times. It's normal. It's a normal bodily process. But when we start to experience things like sound or an odor, kind of an odor, that's when we know something is a little bit amiss.
So passing gas is a normal thing,
yes,
part of the digestive process, but it's when you start passing funny smells, funky smells, let's put it that
yes,
way, that's when we have a problem.
Yes, absolutely. So it's a normal process. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. But when we do, feel those symptoms, we need to address it.
So usually most people get the bloating when they have these big buffets, they have their, great mothers gatherings, family gatherings. But what if someone's bloated on a daily basis? With breakfast, with lunch, with dinner, they're constantly bloated. Now, can you talk about that? What is that usually caused by?
In this day and age, we live very fast-paced lifestyles. We're always on the go. We're always in a rush to do everything. So we've lost the ability to actually focus on the food at hand, and that's a huge part and parcel of the actual problem. So the moment we start to ingest food very quickly, we're gulping it down. First of all, we're not chewing properly, so you're not breaking down the food properly, and just that element of whole food going into the body, it's not breaking down properly, then that starts to emit gas through a process of fermentation or whatever it is. So the trick here is to actually sit down, chew your food well. You really need to break it down so there's not any undigested food going into the digestive tract. 50% of the digestive process needs to take place in the mouth.
In the mouth, absolutely.
Yeah. Eat slowly so you're not gulping down air. The moment you stuff something in the mouth, you're actually swallowing huge amounts of air. And this can cause a lot of belching or bloating or that gas feeling. A lot of the time we tend to drink carbonated drinks, and that goes along with drinking sparkling water as well.
But it helps. It helps the bloating. What is your take on that?
It aggravates the bloating.
Okay.
It doesn't help it, it aggravates it in layman terms.
So when is the best time to drink water? Is it before you eat or is it after you eat? What's the window of time there?
When we drink fluids with meals, what's happening is you're actually you're dissolving the enzymes that you need. So let's take a step back. Let's talk about more about the chewing aspect of food. When you put the food in your mouth, you really need to focus on chewing. And each mouthful, you need to chew about 15 to 20 times, minimum. Slow it down, eat slowly. Now that mastication process, so that constant grinding of the jaw with chewing, sends a message to the brain to release saliva. Now, in your saliva, you've got digestive enzymes and you've got antibacterial agents. So the longer you focus on chewing that food, the more saliva is going to be released, and of course that softens and moistens the food content. But of course it's also releasing enzymes to break down the food, not to mention the antibacterial agents. Now, when we swallow that food, you want to help those enzymes, but by drinking fluids, you're not helping them because you're actually you're slowly dissolving them. So in an ideal world, you want to drink sort of 20 minutes before eating and 20 minutes after eating.
To give the time for the body to
exactly
digest. My next question is that when you have that gurgling kind of feeling in the stomach, And usually people think it's because they're hungry. Now, is that gas or is that more just, what is that sound?
It could be both. It could be the fact that you're hungry and your body's sending you a message, but that should start to dissipate if you're eating regular smaller
meals.
portions. So every 3 hours you're having something to eat. But sometimes it can be that gassy feeling, and again, it's just a question of eating slowly. The other thing that people tend to do is we tend to slouch when we eat. So couch potatoes, sitting in front of the sofa, having our meal, or sitting with your elbows on the table. What that's doing is you're crushing the digestive system. So by slouching, there's no space for any movement, and that can also cause a bit of gas. So exactly as how mothers used to teach us when we were younger, sit up straight, chew with your mouth closed, exactly.
So mothers are always right.
Mothers are always right.
What about food combining? Now, there's a lot of new research that says you should not be eating your carbohydrates with your protein because that can cause indigestion. You should be eating certain foods should not be mixed together. What is your take on that?
It has a certain element of truth, yes, but I think if we just go back to the basics and eat a well-balanced meal full of a variety of items. So keep it simple, small piece of protein, which should consist of about 20% of the meal, a nice big portion of vegetables. Keep it simple. That's the trick.
Keep it simple.
Food combining. When you start to go into food combining, blood type diet, all these different diets, you get very confused, and it takes a lot of effort. So it's just a basic trick. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. That's your message.
The only thing that I would perhaps suggest is try not to have fruit with your main meal, because fruit ferments a lot faster than your normal vegetables and protein. So fruit is something that you want to keep for your 2 snacks between your main meals. And not with your main meals.
And usually a lot of people tend to have fruits after their meal as a way to kind of sweeten their palate, and that's not recommended.
It's not recommended, no, because it disturbs the digestive process.
Okay. And what kind of health conditions is it related to? What can bloating lead to other health?
It can lead to a lot of mainly digestive processes. So if you're experiencing constant bloating, constant gas or flatulence release, it's a good idea to get it seen to. Colon hydrotherapy can help flatulence and bloating in a big way. And then if you go to someone who's properly trained in colon hydrotherapy, they will be able to pick up if there are other elements that could be aggravating the situation as well. But always get it checked out if it's not able to be relieved through eating slowly, chewing, etc., etc.
So the message of the day is to keep it simple. Drink your water 20 minutes before meals and after meals.
Yes.
And chew very, very slowly.
Chew slowly, sit up straight.
And sit up straight.
Yes.
Posture is very important. And if bloating continues to persist, that's when someone should come visit someone like yourself who's a colon hydrotherapist and nutritionist to see what else could be causing the bloating.
And the other thing that they can do is also get their posture checked, because a lot of the time, if your posture is out of balance, if you haven't got a good spinal alignment, this can also aggravate bloating. So someone could go see someone like yourself, a chiropractor, for spinal adjustment or spinal alignment, and this is a great way just to help the body. It's looking at the bigger picture, integrate different tools to help the body. That's the main thing.
Okay, thank you very much. It's been very, very interesting. Thank you for tuning in to eZeLiving.com. I'm Dr. Niveen Al-Saleh. Please don't forget to subscribe and keep all your comments below.